Welcome to Theory After Hours, where we discuss business, interior design, real-life struggles, and the daily balancing act to make it all happen.
When you are let go from somewhere, you have to sign a disparagement agreement, a non-disclosure, all these things. So really, I spent 20 years using my voice, and now I can't use my voice.
You can't say anything.
Well, I can't say anything I can't say anything about the details of the agreement, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't disparage them, so I can't say anything bad about them. And I don't have anything bad to say. I don't have a problem with losing the job. I don't. A job is a job. And I'll find another job. And I always thought, and Mike always thought that, it'll end eventually, right? It can't, like, chances of retiring in that business are slim to none. It was just the way it was done. And the way it was done was really, 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 really unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. And I'm still hurt from it. Mike is definitely, he's moved on, and I've moved on, but he's not as, I know he's hurt, but he's maybe not as vocal about his hurt. And, I am a little bit more vocal about it because I just don't think you should treat people like that.
But I don't get it after you've worked there for so long. You've built relationships, and it's like a secondary home at least.
And that's like
that
should be your other family, really.
Well, they were.
And just to be treated that way. I don't get it. I don't get
But
it.
It happens every day. And there's people listening that it's happened to them for sure. So once I posted about it and all that, I was shocked how many people reached out to me that they were treated the same way at their company, or big ones and small ones. And it's shocking to me. And somebody said to me, they said, "Oh, it's funny how it's called human resources because there's nothing human about."
How it happens.
About how they do this. But there are a lot of people that I've spoken to that work in media, and people get let go at the stations they're at, and they're never blindsided. It was the blindsiding.
Yeah.
You know?
Unknown, right?
Yeah, when you're blindsided, no matter what it is, it sucks.
It does suck.
Yeah.
You should. My husband always says if we were going to let somebody go from Theory, they should know it's coming.
Yeah.
They should have an inkling that there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
And one could argue, oh, well, they don't want you to go on air and say anything bad. I mean, but we're not like that.
You're professionals. At the end of the day, that's what you are.
And so I think that was really sad, is that I didn't, get to say goodbye. I didn't, and I don't mean just on air. I mean to the people I worked with.
You weren't even allowed to get your belongings, were you?
Well, yeah, they said that they would go get them for me, and I said, no, I'll go get my own. And I said I didn't want to be walked out either. I said I can walk myself out.
Like, what do you
They
do
were
in the
going to walk
building?
you out.
Yeah. But I said I would walk myself out. And I just went to a restaurant down the street and waited for Mike because he was let go right after me. And so I waited for him, and then he showed up at the restaurant. And
Did you guys break down? Did you just
we'd
get drunk?
Drank our faces
Good
off.
for you. Did you shed a tear?
Not there.
Okay.
No.
You're probably still in shock, right?
Not there. I did cry, but I'm trying to remember when. I was in shock, for sure. I was in shock for quite a while.
So now, Tamara, after that being that was basically your life. Mm-hmm. How do you get over that, and how do you move on to this new step? Because now you're doing something completely different.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, though, Bailey, because I always made it very clear that I was not defined by my job. And I've had a lot of debate about that with other people in the business. I've had that conversation with my husband. My husband says he is defined by his job.
I feel like I'm defined by my job. So maybe that's why I put it that way.
Yeah.
To you, right?
And I think it's an interesting conversation because I was not defined by my job. I loved my job. I felt fortunate to do that job. But I felt like I was defined by my advocacy and by volunteering, and so to move, I knew I didn't want to work in media anymore. I felt like it wasn't it had changed so much since
Yes.
when I first got into it. And everything is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking.
Yeah.
It's even worse now than it was in April when I was let go. And so I knew I didn't want to do that anymore. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought, okay, well, maybe I've always wanted to write a book. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I should start writing.
You should.
But,
You should.
but that it's hard to write a book. So anybody who's written a book, it's
So
good.
have you started a little bit?
I have started a little
Okay.
bit, but I've started a little bit like for years.
Okay.
So I knew, I thought, okay, I could do that. I thought, well, maybe I should try to, maybe I can make some money like off social media. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no idea. I thought, do I want to work for a nonprofit? Do I want to, I loved being home for the summer with my kids.
That probably was the best
It was
summer.
amazing. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I got approached for politics civically and provincially, and I said no to both. And then the federal Liberals, some people asked if I would be interested, and I thought, wow, this is different.
It's different, right?
Yeah, and it felt right, and I couldn't really pinpoint why. And I thought about it for quite a while, and my husband and I talked about it a lot. Obviously, we talked about it with the kids, and I said yes the day after I watched Mike anchor his first newscast with CBC.
Aww.
Because I was nervous to watch him, and I love Mike dearly.
Yeah.
And but I was nervous to watch him because I was nervous I was going to feel, envious or jealous or like I was missing out or
Like you were left behind. Maybe,
yeah,
right?
totally. I was really scared, and so I watched him that night, and I didn't feel envious. I didn't feel jealous. I didn't wish that it was me sitting beside him. I didn't wish that I was him. In fact, I was glad I wasn't. And I knew how happy he was, and it's perfect for him. And I recognized right there that that chapter of my life is over.
It gave you closure.
For sure. Yeah. And the only thing I know for sure is that chapter's over, and that I turned 50 last year. And I realized
Happy birthday. Yeah, we're so envious.
You've been talking about your skin all day.
Yeah, all morning.
So
I'm
sweet.
Oh.
And I realized that I'm officially an adult. There's no way around that. I'm for sure an adult. And I have 50 years of life experience behind me.
Yes.
and a lot of it. And I have less than that ahead of me. I don't have 50 years ahead of me.
You never know.
You don't know.
Well, but let's just take the averages, right? And it's, what do I want to do? What do I want to do now? I want to take that experience, I want to take my voice, and I want to use it for good. So some would argue, politics is, but I really feel like it's my best chance to make a positive impact, I feel.